Nobody expected them to be in this position at the start of the season, but the Flyers are battling for a playoff spot with less than 10 games to go on the year. Currently in 4th place in the Metropolitan Division, the Flyers are hanging on for dear life in their hunt for postseason glory. They've been struggling for the last month or so, but if they want to get into the playoffs, this last-minute push is crucial for them. They have big matchups coming up, and that's what I'll be breaking down in this video. If you like Philly sports, this is the channel for you. I talk about all things Philly sports, so hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my content. The last matchup for the Flyers was against the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday. The Blackhawks are terrible, totaling 49 points on the season so far, but they came into Philly and destroyed the Flyers 5-1. The Flyers should have come into this matchup looking to smoke Chicago, but that's clearly not what happened. They lost to a struggling Canadiens team on Thursday, and they dropped another one to a bad Chicago team. They lost their division spot at the moment to the Capitals, who I will break down later in the video. After their loss against the Blackhawks, they remain home to take on the Islanders. This is an important game as it's against a division rival looking for a playoff spot as well. The Isles are currently 5 points behind the Flyers with 2 less games played than them, so if the Flyers lose this game, New York gains the advantage over them. If they take care of business, they will stand pretty good in the standings, at least against the Islanders. Monday will definitely be a must-watch. After the game against the Islanders, they have matchups against bottom-feeding teams like the Sabres, Blue Jackets, and Canadiens before facing the Rangers in New York. That game against the Rangers will be crucial depending on how the Flyers play against the bad teams. After the Rangers are the Devils on April 13th. The Devils are right behind the Isles in the standings, so theoretically they're still in the race for the number 3 spot in the Metro. Depending on what happens within the next week or so, that game could be big for both teams. The Devils and Flyers always seem to play each other tough, so that is going to be a good one to watch. That all leads to the final regular season game on April 16th, a 7 o'clock game against the Washington Capitals. This game will potentially make or break the Flyers' season. With the Caps being right ahead of the Flyers in the standings now, it seems only right that they will be neck and neck with Philly going into this final game. If the Flyers go on a run starting on Monday, this game might not mean anything, but signs point to them staying on par with Washington, making that game mean a whole lot for the playoffs. Even if the Flyers aren't able to secure a division spot over the Capitals, they still have a good shot at the second wildcard spot in the East, the spot they currently hold. The Red Wings are the next closest team fighting for that spot. They have 80 points in one less game than the Flyers, but the Flyers hold the tiebreaker against Detroit. The Red Wings have a tougher schedule than the Flyers down the stretch, and so do the Capitals, so the Flyers just need to not completely suck over the next 2 weeks. Realistically, the second wildcard spot is what I think the Flyers will get. The Caps have 2 more games to play than Philly and hold the tiebreaker over them as well, so it makes more sense for them to punch their ticket through a spot in the division. The Islanders, Devils, Sabres, and even Penguins all remain in the mix, but I don't think they're going to do enough to get past the Flyers. The Flyers even play the Islanders and Devils, so if they can beat them, I don't think there's a chance that they fall in the standings. It's going to be a very stressful next 2 weeks for Flyers fans. They have to start winning, especially against the teams in the Metro. If they don't pick it up soon, the playoffs will become just a fantasy this year. This last-minute push will be a tough test for this very young Flyers team, but they have shown all year that they can fight, so that's how I think they approach this final stretch of games. They have a chance to bring playoff hockey back to Philadelphia, and I think that they get the job done. More Flyers content will be coming up soon now that the season is coming to an end, and playoffs are hopefully in the future. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos on the Flyers. Enjoy the next 2 weeks because it should be filled with a lot of good and meaningful hockey. Catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.